Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome to chapter 9, lesson 4. So today we're dealing with triangle inequalities, and in triangle inequalities, it's the rule of that when you add up the sides, two sides of a triangle, those two side lengths have to always be greater than the third. And it has to apply for all the sides, okay? So what you need to do is you're going to be determining when you're given three side length measures if those side length measures create a triangle or not. So if the condition is not met, then automatically there's no way you can force three different side lengths that don't meet the condition at any given point to create that triangle, because there will not be enough length to go ahead and stretch it out and create that triangle. So let's go ahead. The rule is the sum of any two sides, and we're talking about side lengths, not the angles. So the sum of any two sides must be greater than the third side, okay? So your instructions are determine if the given measures create a triangle. You've been given 13 cm, 16 cm, and 24 cm. So the way it works, you add up two sides and see if it's greater than the third. So the first ones I'm going to test is 13 plus 16. If I add them up, I'm trying to see if the sum of these two is greater than the third, which is 24. And I know that 13 plus 16 is 29. So 29 is greater than 24. So for this condition right here, these two sides, it's a yes. Now I'm going to go ahead and add now 16 plus 24. 16 plus 24, is it greater than 13? And obviously 16 plus 24 is 40. And I know that 40 is greater than 13, so this is yes. But remember that you need to do three tests because it's three sides. So we've done 13 and 16, 16 and 24, but we have not done 13 plus 24 to see if it is greater than 16. And of course, now for those mental math students, but you still need to prove, right, can already tell that it is greater. 13 plus 24 is 37, and 37 is greater than 16, so therefore this is also a yes. The minute you got yes on all three of them, then our final answer for this is yes, these measures do create some type of triangle. Okay, so let's try another one. What about if you're given the measures of 22 inches? We've got 22 inches. We've also got 12 inches and also 9 inches, okay? So let's go ahead and start 22 plus 12. 22 plus 12, and we're trying to see if it's greater than the third, which is 9. 22 plus 12 is 34, and we know that 34 is greater than 9. Let's go to the next one. What about 12 plus 9? 12 plus 9 should be greater than the third, which is 22. 12 plus 9 is 21. And is 21 greater than 22? No, it's not, right? So when it's no, don't forget to put the slash. That means 21 is not greater than 22. And the minute I got no for one of them, I do not have to test the other one, because this by default automatically canceled all the testing. So in this question, the answer is no, because this condition did not meet the greater than, okay? Now for this next part of the lesson, you're going to order sides and angles from least to greatest, okay? So order sides or angles from least to greatest, okay? Now, for those that don't listen to this lecture are gonna assume, oh, this is easy to do, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take the picture and order whatever information is given, but it's not gonna work that way, guys. So let's say, for example, I have this triangle, right? And of course, you know, I'm not perfect or what have you, but I'm trying my best, guys. So let's call this triangle A, B, and C. Now, the information given to you is that this angle right here is 38 degrees. This angle right here is 29 degrees. And this angle right here is 113 degrees. Okay? Now, it's not about ordering the angles. The condition here is, and I'm writing this as just a side note, given angles, so if you are given the angles, order the sides. Okay? So when you are given angles, you are to order sides. And the vice versa. If you're given sides, then you order angles. So what's the rule here? So the rule is this, guys. According to the angles that you're given, okay? 29 is the least in value, right? So the rule is that whatever angle has a certain value, the side length across from it, the side length across, directly across, is the shortest side. As is the side with the greatest angle, or rather the angle with the greatest value, the side across from it, directly in a straight path, is always the longest side. Okay? So again, always go towards the opposite side of the angle to get to the length. So for 29, I know that 29 is the least value, right? So 29 applies to the distance between line segment A and line segment B. Got it? 29 is the least value. Across from it is line segment A and B. Therefore, that is the shortest side. Okay? So this is the shortest. Okay? Now, if we are going to the next value, 38 degrees, that's the one in the middle, right? Between 29 and 113, the middle value is 38. It's not directly sitting in the middle, but it falls between those two values. So across from angle A, we walk this way, right? So across from angle A, we're walking in a straight path, and the side length, that is the middle value, or second longest, right, is going to be between B and C. Does that make sense? Again, the middle value, you go across, opposite of the angle is B and C, therefore B and C is second in length. Okay? So I can start ordering now. Now, the shortest I said was line segment AB. So I'm going to write AB, and line segment has to have that little symbol on top. That means line segment. Okay? The second in length is the distance between B and C. So second in length is B and C. Then the last part of this, since 113 is the longest, across from that angle, in a straight path, the longest side is this side length, which is line segment AC. So this is the longest. And my final answer, AC is the longest. It's easy, but you got to think about it. Always across the angle, pick the shortest, or rather the least value in angles, then go across in a straight path and then determine what are the two letters that create that line segment. Okay? And I tried to change it by color as well, guys, so you can see the path. All right? So hopefully you got it. Now, what happens when you're given side lengths? Okay? So let's try another example, but except now we're going to be using side lengths instead of angles. So let's say that we give you a triangle, and we're going to call it triangle JKL, okay? And it looks kind of like an equilateral triangle, but we're not exact, so remember, I'm not drawing necessarily to scale, but I'm trying. So this is triangle JK, and that's an L. Now, the distance between here and here is 2.3 meters. The distance over here is 1.2 meters. And I know that it doesn't look accordingly, but guys, but assume that it is, okay? And then this side length over here is 1.9 meters. So if sides are given, then what do you have to order? The angles. Order angles from least to greatest. Remember that the instructions are from least to greatest. So now the same thing applies. I'm gonna go to the shortest side, and opposite of it, that's the angle that's gonna be the lesser in measure. So my shortest side is 1.2. This is my shortest side. Across from 1.2, I'm walking in a straight path. That means angle K is my shortest, okay? The shortest side is 1.2. That means angle K is the least in degrees. So the first one that is least in degrees, angle K, okay? So this is least. Now, the second length, all right, second length, that is in second place as far as length is concerned, is 1.9 meters. Remember, this is the line segment from between the distance between J and K. So if I walk in a straight path across from it, my angle L is second in degrees. It's second in degrees, all right? So the next value here for my answer is to put angle L. And then by default, obviously the other one, but let's just test, just make sure that we're not messing ourselves up. So for the last one, here we go. The longest side is between, according to the measures that were given, the longest side is between K and L. So I have to go across, and the angle that is across is angle J. So that means that angle J is the one that has the greatest degree measure, okay? So K was the least, second in place was angle L, and then the greatest one was angle J. So I'm hoping that you found it easy, guys. So how does this apply to real world problems? So in real world problems, I've written one that applies to some of the kids in class. So if I didn't include you in the word problem, guys, especially the boys, don't feel bad, okay? So here we go. Look at that. So let's say that we're at a soccer game. Ahmed is trying to pass the ball to the player that is the farthest away from him, okay? So the question is, who should he pass it to? Justify your answer. So here's Ahmed's position. We've got Beckett over here, and then we've got Abdullah over here. So now, if you see the imaginary triangle, now they're telling you that this angle degree right here where Beckett is at 66 degrees, right? And then, I'm sorry that you don't see me, guys, and I'm out of the picture, but the angle where Abdullah is 57 degrees. So remember, we want the one that's furthest away. So the first thing we need to check, well, which one of the angles is greater? Is it 57 or is it 66? So we know that 66 is greater, but does that mean that this side is the one that's longest? Absolutely not. What did we just learn? That you have to travel in a straight path to determine which length is longer. So if 66 is greater than 57, we go in a straight path. Now we know that the longest distance is between Ahmed and Abdullah. So the answer to this is he should pass the ball to Abdullah. So he should pass the ball to Abdullah. Now, when we justify, how do we justify it based on that? Okay, what did we just say? Since 66 degrees is the greatest, right? Since 66 is a greater angle, or 66 degrees is the greater angle, it makes the side between Ahmed and Abdullah the longest. So since 66 degrees is the greater angle, it makes the distance between Ahmed and Abdullah the longest. So what does that mean? That basically Abdullah is further away, slightly further away than Beckett is from Ahmed. So hopefully you like this lesson and hopefully you found it easy, guys. Remember, if you are given angles, then you order the side lengths. If you're given side lengths, then you order the angles. And you always go across in a straight path from angles or from sides to determine the least and the greatest, and so on and so forth for your ordering. If you have any questions, make sure you come to class, inshallah, so we can answer and take care of any of the questions you might have. Assalamu alaikum.